What's up, everybody? I am here in the wonderful Brownsburg terminal. I didn't make a video on my last trip. Kind of a love-hate relationship going on right now with Canada. I love the scenic views. I'm just not really in the mood to put up with some of the police state going on up there. Some people are very nice and some people are not. But yes, I did a 3 delivery. First was in Michigan, Coldwater, Michigan. It was very easy, very nice. Parked up the night before. Very peaceful, right on the lake. It was an easy delivery. I'm gonna get some noise coming. There's a train coming. And then went to Quebec for 2 deliveries up there. There was a lot of Canadian travel, and I'll explain why. Well, all right. So now that the train's gone by, I'm gonna finish my story. So I had 1 stop off in Coldwater, Michigan, 2 stops in Quebec. Now, again, Canada, I'm dealing with like a little bit of a love-hate relationship right now. I love the scenic views. It's gorgeous up there, especially now that there's no snow. It's just gorgeous. I saw my first moose cross before me on the main highway, and 2 bears, 2 black bears. Separate incidents, hours apart, but just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And endless lakes. I mean, there's lakes everywhere. Some big, some small, but they're all just beautiful, especially in the morning, when they are like glass and the image is picking up the skyline from the water level up. So you got the trees and then this beautiful sky, and it reflects it back onto the lake like that. It's breathtaking. But unfortunately, the government is police stating right now, and the people are pretty much like under siege. It is a disgusting situation going on up there. Entering the port through Port Huron was easy because it's only trucks. Got through just fine. Drove all the way across Ontario. I made it through Toronto, which killed my clock. That traffic was terrible. For people that's supposed to be home, police stating, traffic was still just absolutely terrible. And then they got construction going on, so it was down to like 1 lane. It killed my clock. I didn't make it through Quebec. I had to shut down in a Flying J. But anyway, that's the night I found out my AC had blown out. So all the coolant, I was wondering why my AC wasn't working when I was going through Toronto. It got hot, so I had to roll down the windows. And I didn't have time I didn't take the time to pull off the road and find out what's going on. I was like, well, it's something I'm going to have to deal with. It'll cool off in the evening. Hopefully I could be in a location where it's not going to be too bad, and we'll deal with it that way. So that's what happened. Got to the Flying J, popped the hood, coolant blew out the back of the compressor. Made a little video. So, yep, coolant blew out the back of the compressor, made a mess. Then temperature dropped, but luckily right then it wasn't too bad. I didn't notice any mosquitoes and bugs flying around, so I cracked the windows about halfway down. A breeze picked up, so that's what probably kept the mosquitoes from really getting crazy. And I just enjoyed the evening in the cooler temperatures. But that traffic set me back 2 hours. So by the time I got to the second stop in Quebec, my first stop in Quebec, but second stop on the trip, it was around noon. So I get there, and again, they do not speak English. They understand English. They do not speak English. They won't talk to you in English. So you have to find that one employee that they use to be the translator, and they typically ignore you. So I get there to this Ritzy Ritz. It's a dealership, but behind the dealership there's a huge, like a club membership. They pay for the slips for the boats to park up there. They were all like Richie Rich type people. So I pulled back there, got cars that are parked in the way for me. Porsche SUVs, Audis, all that stuff. As they're hanging out on their boat that's like $500,000 boat. I had to wait nearly 2 hours just for them to get to me to offload the one pontoon. Which then, once it was off, it doesn't take long to tear down. This is actually the longest part of the job is really the takedown of all the steel and putting everything away, because you got all the clips, all the pins, and the steel. They're not light, so that's the only exercise you get, is lifting up the steel and putting them all away and throwing away the trash, making things organized and cleaned up. So once I got the pontoon off, then it was time to roll. I had enough drive time, technically enough drive time, to make it all the way to the second stop, but I would have arrived after hours. I called ahead. They spoke to me in English. That was great. They said that, yeah, pull on in, park up, and we'll get you first thing in the morning. We'll order up the crane. So that's another reason why you got to call ahead to get the crane action. So unfortunately, the traffic through Montreal killed me. It killed my clock again. I had like over 6 hours to do a 6-hour drive. It would have been tight, but I think I would have made it all the way there. Unfortunately, I didn't. Montreal traffic killed me again. It was like average speed 7 miles an hour. It was just miserable, and no air conditioning. So that day kind of sucked. That night sucked even more. I found I was in a gorgeous forest, like for us it'd be a natural park, but the Highway 117 going north out of Montreal is just straight gorgeous. But I found a little one-man gas station, and they come out, it's like a full service. They like old school style, man, like old school. You pull in, you drive over the little rope that goes ding ding, you stop at the pump, the guy comes out from the register, and you hand him the cash, or you tell him what fuel you want. He starts pumping your fuel. Once you're done, you see the grand total right there on the pump. You pay him, he goes, gets your change or whatever, and they go on their way. It was pretty cool, but dirt lot, dusty, powdery dirt, and again, like yards away from a pond. And that is when the night from hell began, because I could not roll down the windows. Nope. Mosquitoes were landing everywhere. The little gnats are worse. I mean, mosquitoes suck. Literally. I mean, I got a little bit of evidence of that right there. That's just like one got away. One got to me somehow. But the gnats, man, they swarm your truck. They swarm all over you when you get out of the truck. And they like to go in your ears, your eyes, try to go up your nose, and you're like just swatting away like crazy. They're just annoying. So I couldn't roll down the window for fresh air. And it was like 90 degrees. It was like a swamp in this truck. It was bad. I popped open both windows on the sleeper because they have screens. So that was great. But initially there was no breeze. And it's like hard for the breeze to really get to because they only, from a vertical, they pop out a couple of degrees. That's it. So you got like this much gap. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see very well, but my mirrors are dirty. I gotta clean that. But there's the window on the sleeper berth. All right. So they only open up a few inches. So it really sucks. When it's not windy or breezy at all, you don't get any air circulation. That night just sucked. Temperatures did drop. Hell, it got in the 50s, but around 2 a.m. And I got up and rolled at, I think it was like 4 a.m. So that night was just miserable. You lay here, you sweat until it cools down enough. Had a moment of WTF. Was that had to have been a raccoon. But yeah, I'm gonna say it was a raccoon. Decided to climb the pontoon boat in the middle of the night. As I'm laying there with my head as close as possible to that window over there, because it's a much bigger window. I just rarely use it because it's kind of behind the TV. So I'm over there and I hear this noise, and then you could feel, trust me, you feel everything when a strong enough wind blows, it rocks the truck. If someone steps on your trailer, you could feel it. Because remember, you got airbags and shocks, so it kind of rocks. Well, whatever it was, climbed up the boat, pontoon boat, and jumped on top of my headache rack. Gave me a little bit of a scare. All right, I'll say I woke up like, what the hell was that? And then I heard it when it slid down the door and landed on the catwalk, and then ran off. So a little adventurous raccoon kept me up. The weather kept me up. It was just a miserable night. After that night, that's where I saw beautiful moose crossing in the morning, a couple bears. It was just, from that point on, it was nice, sort of. Got to the dealership. They were lovely people, awesome, friendly. They spoke enough English to carry on an actual conversation with you. Pulled in, got the boat off, threw away the trash. Then I was trying to get information on where I'm going to go for this AC repair, because it needs it now. I was a little irritated with the situation that it's a brand new truck. Should be all under warranty. Don't give me an excuse of why it's cheaper to come to a terminal, but that's the excuse they gave me. So I had to drive. I've been running on my recaps too. So I haven't had a 34 since I left the house back in Easter. So I got to, I only had 4 hours left. I had to turn down another load. My fleet manager, he's working me good. I love it. I'm a little irritated just because of my hours, the lack of recaps, and the AC problem. To be honest, I think I still could have got that last load, the previous load that he was going to give me running my recaps. It's just better to get a full reset in and then run hard. Run harder than you're already running. Um, he had a tractor load I could have picked up in PA that would take me all the way down by far Texas, and I'll be off and running again. You know, hopefully another westbound load. But it didn't happen. It's like you dangle the carrot in front of the horse, right, and then you take it away. I was looking at money, but no. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I make my way the next morning. I stayed. I made it all the way into another town. I was so far north in Quebec, which is when you're in an area, you're in a country. I don't have internet. I don't have the signal. I can't look up on Google Map. I can't, because it's just a blur. I literally could only look up on Trucker Path, but Trucker Path, the map doesn't focus in. It doesn't show you exact roadways and all that. It'll show you a big green blur of Mother Earth, and then the truck stops and rest areas and all that pinpoints. So you have to find them and select on them and see where they're at and the information that they provide. Unfortunately, their information is wrong or doesn't make any sense, because I selected on a Flying J, and that Flying J was not a Flying J. There was nothing there. Nothing there. And that was where I was like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to fuel up. I'm going to take a shower, get some breakfast. Great. Nothing there. I got to a truck stop. 2 truck stops across the street from the highway from each other. Very nice, big truck stop. But it was, luckily it had been raining, because it was just a big old dirt field. And at first there was like little to no traffic at all. It was overcast. It was breezy, which felt great. So I had the windows down. I'm just sitting here enjoying it, cooling off, staying cool. But I got there just after noon, and I didn't get hours back until after midnight. So again, running my recaps. I had 8 hours returned at midnight, but I thought, you know what? I'm empty. There's no point of getting up and run just at midnight, especially up there in Canada. I mean, I'm far enough north. I've seen 2 bears and a moose crossing, all right, during the day. So when you go up there and you see the local drivers driving their, especially the logging trucks. The logging trucks, they blind the hell out of you. They have so many damn headlights and bright lights and light beams and everything. It's like driving a freaking sun coming down the road. It's just, they know where they're going, but you won't. You're going to get blinded. So it's just safer. Wait, sun come up about, sun was coming up about 4:30 in the morning. So I just waited till I got some sunlight and got going. Again, just absolute gorgeous country up there. But I'm so far north in Quebec. The map on Quebec in the atlas showed where I was at. But when I crossed into Ontario after going through the police checkpoint, there's nothing up there. You're so far north. Ontario just decided to not even add that in the atlas. All right. There's a world, the page that has all the U.S. states and some of Canada all combined. That's the only reference I have. A red line to a red line down toward Toronto. All right. And they'll tell you it was Route 66. So 66 to 11 south toward Toronto. That's where I was at. So it keeps things interesting, keeps you on your toes. Again, another need for an Atlas, use the Atlas, understand the Atlas, but yet keep in mind, even that could fail you. um, I don't pay $600-700 for a Garmin big old trucker routing thing when I could use my Google Maps, I could use my Atlas, and the Trimble just fine. Because how often am I in an area up north, so far out of the area where all these devices don't work? All right, something will work. So that's why I don't pay that kind of money on that stuff. Anyway, I get to a Flying J. Finally, a Flying J before the crossing back into the U.S., where I was able to get a shower, a shave, fuel up, feel like a human being again. But I only had 2 hours left of drive time. So I got into the U.S., crossed the state, a couple bridges. The bridges on I-75 coming in, they're toll roads, so be prepared to pay. The company they might reimburse you, but the company does not have an easy pass or a pre-pass toll road. $25 each, so $50 cost me to get back in the U.S. that route. Picked up the load I'm under right now at Fort Wayne, so that's why I was going that way. Went to Fort Wayne. Now, some drivers are, oh, why'd you go that way? That's a long way. I could have kept going straight south, but I'd have to travel through Toronto again, through all that traffic again. I still wouldn't have made it out of the U.S. or out of Canada and back in the U.S. any sooner. In fact, I got in the U.S. the soonest, going my way. And you'd have to go through Detroit traffic and all that jazz again. So, 2 major cities, 2 major backups versus it ended up being miles per miles, 120 miles further the route I went, but time-wise, faster. Think about traffic, all right? That comes into play too. Plus the scenic view is just gorgeous. So I made it to Michigan. There was no truck stops where I wanted to go, or I passed the one truck stop at one of the base, the beginning of the bridge, where I would have had to exit before I crossed, pay the toll, and stay there. But it probably would have been nice. It was a small gas station that had a couple of truck stops or truck spots. But I didn't even think about stopping. I just kept going until I was like, oh crap. I should have stopped. I had like 40 minutes left. There's no truck stops down the road. There was one northbound rest area with a scenic view. So, sometimes you got to think outside the box. I bypassed it, the very next exit, spun back around, it went northbound. It only took me 3 miles out of the route, so the distance isn't nothing. Pulled into the rest area. It was literally empty except for 2 camper trailer guys that were just stopping for a break, and then they were moving on. So I had the place to myself. It was overcast again. Temperatures were dropping, a nice cool breeze. I dropped the windows. I just enjoyed the evening. For the most part, all to myself. I woke up throughout the night as trucks started to arrive, but nothing got overcrowded. No crazy, bull haulers next to you. It was peaceful night, actually. Got up at 3 a.m. and rolled again. Got to Fort Wayne, picked up the load. Really easy. This load is I'm going to North Carolina for 2 drops, and then finishing off in South Carolina by North Charleston. Now, I'm sitting here at Brownsburg getting my 34 in for once. I got the AC fixed. Shocked me. That was the best thing the best news so far. I think this load's going to work out just fine. Fingers crossed. But yeah, got here just past noon yesterday on Saturday morning. Saturday early before noon. Got the truck through the wash. With boats, you gotta drop the trailer. They don't run the load through the wash. So come in, find a place to park the trailer, drop it off, bobtail over to the truck wash, get your truck washed. Not gonna lie, again, second time in a row, something that's lacking over there. It's almost as if they're not even adding soap, but yet you can watch them add soap. But I've had way better truck washes than what's going on right now. Now, if you hear for service, it seems like the guys that are doing the polishing, they do the detail job and they finish up making it look great. But the truck wash part is nearly pointless. It's like hit it with high pressure water and that's it. I mean, you saw my windows. Now, of course, I could have wiped them down, and I'm going to, but it shouldn't be like that. See the haze from the wiper, the ring right there? That's leftover soap, water, dirty water. Anyway, that's it don't matter. I'm gonna get another truck wash probably in the next couple days anyways. Because it's inevitable right now. It's I'll hit some rain. I just know it. I'm gonna go through the mountains of Kentucky, North Carolina. I'm gonna get rain. So I'm sitting here going to get my 34 in. I could leave out technically tonight at about 11 p.m. I might do that. I might go take a nap a little bit later. I slept in already, so but the problem is for some reason I stayed up till like 3 in the morning in the truck here. And I didn't idle. The AC's fixed. It only took them like 3 hours. Hell, it took me longer to get my laundry done here than for the shop to get the AC fixed. So, I still wish I could have found a Peterbilt. There was a Peterbilt in my last delivery location in Quebec, and yet they wanted me to come here. I could have probably got... Ooh, that's another mosquito bite. I probably could have got the AC fixed in Quebec, got a hotel stay, got probably a 34 in, and make my PA pickup that takes me to Texas. But instead, that's all out the window. Don't need to worry about it, think about it, and stress about it. Got this load. This load's gonna be fine. Nearly 900 miles loaded, 900 mile bounce. So we're looking good. A little over 1,800 mile total for a load that I believe I will be empty Tuesday night. Fingers crossed. What I'm going to do is I'll probably go leave out tonight. Use Monday to get to my first destination. And the first destination is super easy. It's literally just the I don't know if they call it a bikini or I call it canopy. It's the shade that goes up and over the seats of the pontoon boat. All right, you know, it gives you some shading. That's all it is. One stop. Pull in there. I almost want to call ahead. There's a Circle K with truck spot parking right around the corner from the entrance of this place. Now, the reason why I don't want to go into this small dealership is it's small, narrow driveway, and there's very limited turnaround point up there. So I'm hoping I get to the Circle K, I'll give them a call. Hey, you got someone with a pickup truck, just come down here and grab this for me, all right? And then take off. So after my 10, I'm going to do a 10-hour break there. So if I leave out tonight, which would be Sunday night, drive, it's roughly a 10-hour drive. Get there, get this off me on Monday morning or noonish. By the time I get there, sun will be up. I won't be tired. Get that off. The second delivery I could do on Tuesday morning. It'll be it's 80 miles away. So hour and a half drive, get the first pontoon boat off, and then the other one is only 3 hours drive away to North Charleston. So again, I'm hoping Tuesday night I'm offloaded, find me a truck stop, call it a night, and we will probably going. We get options now, sort of. I'm kind of hoping for an oversized, not too crazy, an oversized out of Sea Ray in Tennessee that takes me west. I want to go west. The sad thing is, there's so many right now of other drivers that I'm talking to. Oversized going to New York, oversized going to Long Island, oversized to New York, New Jersey. No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want to go west. I haven't been home. I haven't been through the house, so-called house. It's a friend's house, since Easter. I also would like to see my kids. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. Or we go down to Boston Whaler in Florida for, again, a lot of oversized out there. But again, there's an oversized here from there right now. A big boy going up into Canada. I don't want to touch that at all. Let someone else deal with that. Again, I think I want to put my foot down on some Canada loads, tell them I'm done for a while until they get their stuff straightened out. Take control of the country and not let the country control the people. But that's all I want to say about that right now. Alright, I've rambled on enough. That's the last week of trip. I didn't film. I kind of regret it, but I was just, again, a little irritated with the situation, a little heated over the AC, but got here, got the AC fixed within a couple hours, got my laundry done. I'm getting my 34 in, got a load that I think, again, if things go right, will be offloaded Tuesday night. Wednesday, be already heading toward our next pickup location. So, alright, John with Green Abbey Rolling. I'll talk with you later.